Today, instead of showing you step by step how to complete this mission, I've decided instead how to beat the core mechanics of the game. If you can beat the core mechanics of the game, you can beat this mission. As this is an introduction mission, it's basically just showing you how the game works. So, the game all starts from your Ark. Your Ark is a supply ship, and if you have any emergencies, you can bring three resources in. These resources are fish, tools, and building supplies. I milk the shit out of this thing for building supplies. In your Ark, you'll have your main ship. It's a warship, so you can defend yourself with it. With this ship, you build a harbor on a seacoast. And after you do this, you have to build a community center, and you have to surround it with buildings. Winning this game means meeting the needs of your people. You can do this by looking at a single infrastructure building, or single home, I should say. In this home, you'll see different meters indicating what's needed, what's weak. By strengthening these, you will maintain your current class and make them available for upgrading to a new class. You will need to build a lot of homes in order to upgrade them. People like having workers and engineers and whatnot. I'm playing this entirely from the perspective of greed, so eco is going to look a lot different than this, but you will need to satisfy these needs. Some of these needs will be met on your island, and you can simply build up all the infrastructure. Others will require you to go to other islands. This means that you will want trade ships. You'll have to build a shipyard and start immediate construction of trade ships. Early on, you can use small ones, but later on, you will want larger trade ships. You will need to maintain all the resources for each level in order to maintain your population in their current stature. Failure to do so will cause your population to run away and your buildings to derank. I would keep a close eye on pollution and electricity. Since I have chosen to play greed, pollution did eventually catch up on me, and once your pollution gets so high, your efficiency goes down massively. I actually ran out of coal on my island, and my electricity killed me. I was delayed by a full hour trying to find massive sources of coal everywhere, and I eventually went nuclear. I would definitely make the choice to go nuclear a bit early. So when you're developing these islands, all you have to do is make a very basic setup. You'll want 8 homes, a community center, and that's about it. You don't want to risk these islands moving into anything but a colony. By supplying wine, for example, you may make yourself a profit. These buildings may evolve, but now suddenly they'll start dipping into those secondary goods that you want for yourself. Production is quite simple. If the building is close to its raw materials, it will work more efficiently and far faster. This is because the building will go directly to the source for all the materials it needs, or I should say, the source will bring the materials to them. This cuts down time on going to the warehouse. Roads are important in this as well. I unlocked the highway in mine mission, so I was able to cart goods quite well. I also unlocked the ability to move multiple carts through the reward system that Ubisoft has put in place. Having strong production means having good roads, having all your production centers near each other that are necessary. When you're building your city, a general tip is to have all of your industry on the outskirts and build your city out towards it. Nobody wants to have all this yucky industry next to them, especially your citizens. So think of your own city. It's pretty much like this. And by having it on the outskirts, you're giving yourself tons of space to build your city and at the same time get those necessary resources. The game gets especially tough when you come into the later stages. You'll be dealing with 5 full tiers of needs. You'll have to fulfill all 5 tiers of needs. To win the game, you have to hit the 4th tier, and you have to continue to expand, and continue to at least supply the needs for the fourth tier and make available the supplies for the fifth tier. By making supplies available for the fifth tier, you are making it so that you will be able to get a population increase. This will make it so that people don't go into minimal homes. It really sucks getting your executive class and then finding out that there's only like 10 out of 100 in that suite. By continuing to build homes, you make available infrastructure for them. Certain buildings will just not evolve if there's not just enough available homes. So just continue spam clicking the map with your homes. At the end of the day, you'll be needing a lot of building materials. As a major tip, make sure not to build the monument if you're trying to do this fast. I made the fundamental mistake of building the monument so that I would get the reward from Ubisoft. Big mistake. Monuments have massive electricity needs, massive resource needs. You're looking into the thousands of resources, and you're looking into going to the massive negative on electricity. You're not alone on this. You will be on this map with several characters. There is a diplomat from the Eco, there is a diplomat from Greed, there is a diplomat from SAAT, the Science Division, there is an underwater group, which will allow you to buy submarines, and there is a pirate who just kind of sails around and sells you cheap goods. Each of these you can buy from and deal with. There is also a person sharing the map with you, and this is really the only person that you have to worry about. This person will make or break you. If you are good friends with her, she'll just happily expand along the map, and you will have interactions with her that are pleasant. If you don't get along with her, then suddenly she'll start trying to declare war on you, and she'll be making more warships. This is Jorgensen, the person that the map is named after. And as you can probably gather, she's an eco person, so not going to be 100% useful for you. There will be underwater islands on this map as well. Oil is a big resource for the construction of plastic. Oil is also an infinite resource underwater, and in the underwater environment, you're not going to be worrying too much about eco pollution. There are so many resources underwater, and you will need to set up many underwater colonies just to fulfill these. You will also need to set up a small science camp. This is so that you'll have enough workers to work all these underground colonies. And when I say small, I mean small, like 8 homes on a random island in the middle of nowhere. I threw them on my random colony because, well, they're not really that important to the mission. You just need to have these workers available for the science division so they'll go underwater and get you all your resources. And that pretty much sums up what you have to do. The last part of the game is simply expanding production on all your islands, expanding production at home, and continuing to build homes and various structures you'll need to level them up. At the end of the day, don't get cheap. I ended this game with 300,000 credits, starting off with a mere 5,000 credits. If you want to win this game, just continue to build all those infrastructure buildings in your city you need. My city is jam packed full of casinos, financial buildings, fire halls, police stations, all this sort of stuff that a city demands. These things appear in circles. This is kind of a piss off because I build my city in a square grid. And this means that you're going to need extra things all over the place. The circles on the map will indicate the sphere of influence. So just make sure that there's a lot of buildings in the sphere of influence of all the really expensive ones, like that financial building. This will fulfill all of your needs. Once you are done, you will also have a building called an influence center. Mine just happened to be a TV station and allowed me to change the channel. There's a specific mode that will increase the habitability of these homes by quite a bit, and once you hit about 2,300 people, you can just switch this on and you'll just finish the map. And that's the Jorgensen Plateau in a nutshell. If you can play this game well, you will beat this level. This is not a short level, this is a long development level. It's going to be peaceful, boring. It's going to have side quests, which for the most part you're just going to ignore. And you're going to be spending a lot of time holding down your plus key on the numpad to speed up the game. I hope this was at all helpful, and I wish you best of luck.